Hey everybody, you're watching the Thursday episode of CCS. My name's Cody, and you're watching that Christian news show thing that I do. And before we go into the news stories, I had to bring this up. There was a comment on my last video, and the person said something about my hair that was like, the Bieber look is so 2008. To which I apologize that I don't know what's in right now. If you know anything about me, I don't know fashion. I didn't know that this was the Bieber look, but hey, that means 12-year-olds will probably be watching, so that's cool. The one thing that really got to me was why my hair. I'm like 5'4", I have squinty eyes, and the most disgustingly crooked teeth in the world. So I was just kind of like surprised they went with my hair. But hey, you know, I had to share this with you guys. It's genuinely funny to me. Like, I just love these things like this. Just kind of weird like that, I guess. You know, if you can't laugh at yourself, you can't laugh at anyone else. And I do love to laugh at everyone else. Quite a bit. And from that, we'll go on to our first story, which granted is a little outdated, but it's something that needs to be said. Yesterday, which you guys probably already know, was the 70th anniversary of Pearl Harbor. And I thought I had to bring that memory up just because it's such a powerful and sad memory in America's history. Of course, I will leave the description below from a news site that says how powerful this day really was, and it has the ceremonies that went on and things like that. If you guys don't know what Pearl Harbor is, school's a good place to go to sometimes. It's a really, really powerful and sad day in America's history, so I had to bring that up. So our second story is about a study that they did at Rice University and the University of Buffalo. And surprisingly, the study showed that a majority of atheistic scientists are actually going to church. And a lot of this kind of makes sense. Like, the first one was just they like the social aspect of church. The second reason being that their spouses went to church and believed in Christianity, so they went for their sake. And the weirdest one and the biggest one on the poll was that they were taking their kids to church. Not so that the kids would have a Christianic view, but so that they knew what Christianity was, so that these kids could decide for themselves if Christianity or atheistic views are the way to go. But anyways, I thought that was really cool because these kids are going to get that Christianness to them, and even though their parents don't like it, they're still going to be exposed, and if they get brought to the right church, which I don't know if the atheists are studying the church that they're going to, but if one of those kids gets lucky and gets to a really cool church, that's another kid that gets saved, because we thought that most atheists weren't taking their kids anywhere near church, but these kids are, which means they're getting exposed to Jesus, which is awesome. Hopefully this backfires on them a little bit, and we'll just have some kids that are like really get plugged into the church and become a big part of it. And our final story is about Hillary Clinton, who claims that religious beliefs are getting in the way of LGBT rights. To which I say it's not a Christian nation. Which, yes, it could be other religious beliefs going on, but the Christian beliefs are not getting in the way of LGBT rights. Because Christianity doesn't run our government. This is a really diverse nation, because when people vote, they're not voting on Christian things, they're voting on what they think is right. And for some reason, there's a lot of people in this country that think LGBT rights aren't right. And if you are a Christian, you're like, no, I don't vote for LGBT rights because that's wrong. In my opinion, that's not really your place to decide, because the government's idea of a marriage is totally different from the church's idea of marriage. And if a church wants to marry an LGBT person, that's their thing. If that happens, I'm not going to go to that church because that is not a biblical church. But the difference is that that's not the government's idea of marriage. The governmental idea of marriage is totally different from the Christian marriage in the way of money, healthcare, where kids go, and all these things like that that are really important that GLBT people can't get because they can't get married, because this country is like, no, that's wrong, which is not our place as Christians to decide. I think it's a lot of these conservative Americans that aren't necessarily Christian, and they're not voting on other Christian things. They just think this is wrong because they're hateful people. And again, I vote for rights because rights are a good thing, and rights are what make me able to preach about Jesus in this country. So when I saw that, I was just like, but she's not just talking to America, she's talking about to a whole bunch of different countries. So it's a big deal everywhere. And that, I think, shows that it's not just a Christian thing, it's a people-hating thing. And the religious beliefs shouldn't be getting in the way of that, but our government doesn't run on the Bible anymore, so that shouldn't be the case. The question of the day is, what do you think? Do you think that religious beliefs are getting in the way of LGBT rights? And if you do you think that's right or wrong? As always, leave your answer in the comment section below, because I love seeing what you guys have to say. And the first of the day is Romans 5:12. Therefore, so as sin has come into the world through one man, and death through sin, so death has come to all men, because all have sinned. Just kind of a reminder that we all sin and not just the people that we decide to dislike. And that's all the things that I found interesting in the news today. So in closing, haters keep hating, Christians keep praying, and to everybody, like and subscribe. I will see you Monday, and God bless.